Hey, what's up, Peeber? Coach Kyle here, and if you're a plant-based runner who struggles with overeating during meals, then I've got 3 tips for you that I've implemented myself to stop going for seconds or even thirds at meals and eating until I'm stuffed and uncomfortable and I don't feel that great for the rest of the evening. If this is stuff that you've struggled with, then you're watching the right video, and after it all wraps up, I hope I've earned a like and a subscription from you. If you don't know, I'm Coach Kyle, and I work with plant-based runners all over the world, improving their lives and their running through implementing easy-to-do training habits, sustainable strength work, dialing in the nutrition, and working on anything else that needs alignment by making it all come together with great accountability and motivation without being asked where you get your protein from. If you want to learn more about my coaching, check out the links below for some coaching details and my free 3-part video series with some quick and actionable tips to up your plant-based running game. So as someone that used to weigh 80 pounds more than I do now, I definitely had problems with healthy eating habits in the past. Even when eating healthy food, I've still had problems with binge eating where I would eat or snack to the point that I was totally stuffed and didn't feel that well afterwards. So today you're going to learn about 3 of the habits I've integrated into mealtime that I'm so grateful for having done because they've reduced my anxiety before eating and improved how I feel after a meal. If this is something you've ever struggled with, I'd love it if you left a comment below with some more helpful tips that you can pass on to other people watching this video. And if you have any questions about this topic, feel free to comment below or send me a DM via email or social media if you want to talk privately. So the first one is a tip I mentioned in another video talking about food prep, but it helps with reducing overeating as well, and that's taking away the option to go for seconds or even third by dishing up the leftovers before the meal is even eaten. How I usually do this is if we make something like vegan paella, I put a full meal of it in a Tupperware before we even dish up our plates for that actual meal. That way the food is taken away as an option before we even sit down to eat. The next tip has helped greatly with slowing down how fast I eat, and that's by putting my utensil down and taking a small sip of water between every single bite. I admit I used to be a pretty fast eater, and I don't even know why, but I would just chow down and Desi would tell me to slow down, take a breath, and kind of made me a little angry, like, why are you telling me how to eat? But now I get it. Don't tell her she was right. So there are stretch receptors in your stomach that signal to your body and your brain that it's full and there's no room left. But the tricky part is that there's a delay, and when you're chowing down on food and you're going to eat and fill up your stomach faster than your brain is going to be signaled. However, slowing down your chewing, spreading out those spoonfuls, taking a small sip of water between bites are all great ways that I do at pretty much every single meal to give my stomach the time and the opportunity to tell my brain that the volume of the food in my body is adequate and I don't need to eat anymore. So this might seem like a lot of work, but one really important thing that I've come to realize over the last few years as I've really gotten to be the type of person that I really actually wanted to be is that things that make you better take effort and they take mindfulness. In my experience, you don't suddenly start eating slower and stop overeating. I needed to put practices into place to make that happen. But the nice thing is now I just do that stuff. It's not hard anymore. It's easy to eat slower, and I'm always glad that I have. So like I said, slowing down how rapidly I'm eating gives my stomach and brain time to communicate to let me know that I've had enough food. But then the tricky part is you gotta stop eating. This is most helpful, but probably most challenging as well. And I admit I don't get this right every time, but every time I get it right, I'm glad I did. And how it works is when I get to that little nudge in the back of my brain that goes, oh, I think I'm full. I think I'm done eating. I'm done eating. I finish that bite and I'm done eating. I'm sure you've had a really tasty meal and you thought to yourself, afterwards. I just had too many bites, or man, I shouldn't have eaten the last half of that taco. This avoids that. It avoids eating the rest of the slice of pizza and you feeling a little uncomfortable afterwards. Or when we're talking about binge eating or just eating so fast that a half hour later you're suddenly stuffed, it avoids that. But you need mindfulness and you need that empathy with your future self to know, okay, if I put this fork down right now, I'm gonna be glad I did. And these have all been total game changers in improving my relationship around food, and I think that if you suffer from any of these problems that I've mentioned, implementing one or, like I have, all of these habits will go a long way towards improving your overall health and wellness, and even your body composition if you're trying to cut some calories, or how you feel later in the evening after dinner. If you have any other questions or comments, please drop them below. I look forward to hearing you, and don't forget, as always, plant-based runners unite.